Thank you, Tim. And let me thank the VFW and the other service organizations for putting on this wonderful and important event this morning. And thank the City of St. Albans and the schools, because it is really, really wonderful to see so many young people out here today to join us in honoring the men and women who have put their lives on the line to defend our country. It's terribly important that the young people understand the history of this country and the sacrifices that our veterans have made. So I just want to thank the city and the schools for involving the kids today in this wonderful program. When we talk about loss in war, it's important to remember that just since World War II alone, this nation has lost over 500,000 service members in active duty. And when we pay tribute to those tremendous sacrifices and those losses, it's also important for the young people and everyone else to understand that that's not the limit of the losses. Just in Iraq and Afghanistan alone, above and beyond the 7,000 troops that we lost, hundreds of thousands of men and women have come home from those wars wounded in body, some without arms, some without eyes, some with hearing problems, and many more suffering from what we call invisible wounds. Wounds like post-traumatic stress disorder or traumatic brain injury. We are talking about hundreds of thousands. And it is our job, from a moral point of view, to make sure that no matter what the political and financial problems are in Washington, that we never, ever turn our backs on any veteran who is hurting in this country. When men and women served, they understood that at any moment they could lose their lives. And we as Americans have got to do everything now to protect those who have protected us. Now, I'm happy to tell you that in recent years, in terms of the veterans community, and I speak as chairman of the Senate Veterans Committee, we have made some good progress. Our job was for the post-9/11 veterans to say thank you for your service, and when you come home, we are going to make it possible for you to get a college education. And 900,000 veterans in this country are now enjoying that opportunity. That is what we should have done, and I'm glad that we did that. For many, many years, we have had situations, often wives, other family members, sitting at home taking care of disabled veterans. Several years ago, we passed legislation which is called the Caregivers Legislation, which gives financial support and other types of support for women and wives and sisters and brothers who are staying home taking care of disabled vets. It began with post-9/11 veterans. We want to extend that to all veterans' families. They deserve that right. Many veterans are aware that one of the serious problems facing the Veterans Administration is the backlog in terms of the processing of claims. Some veterans have processed their claims. They've waited years to get those claims adjudicated. I am happy to tell you that while the problem still remains, we are making significant progress in going from a paper system to a paperless system and expediting that process. And I hope by next year we will have that problem solved. One of the national disgraces I think that we have all seen in our lifetimes is that throughout this country we have had veterans sleeping out on the streets of Vermont and America. In recent years, we have made some progress in building the kinds of facilities that we need and helping those veterans. We're making some progress. We've got to do more. Our goal is that no veteran who has served this country sleeps out on the streets. There have been women and some men who have been treated terribly in terms of sexual assaults and other problems in the military. This is an issue we must address, and I promise you, as chairman of the Senate Veterans Committee, we will address it in our committee. Lastly, I want to urge all veterans to take advantage of the VA healthcare system. In recent years in Vermont, we have opened up new facilities in Newport, in Brattleboro, built a new outreach clinic in Rutland, and just last week we opened up a new facility in Burlington, and we've made some good improvements in White River Junction as well. VA provides excellent quality health care, primary health care, to people who have served our country. I want to see us expand those capabilities so that every veteran, regardless of income, who served this country gets access to very good quality VA health care. So let me conclude how I began, and that is that today is a day of thanks, of gratitude, of acknowledging the enormous sacrifices not only that veterans made, but let's not forget the sacrifices that wives and kids and parents made as well. And as others have said, our job is to reach out not just to the veterans, but to the children and all of those who have been impacted by war and the service of our veterans. So today, we thank our veterans for all that they have done. They have stood for us, and we will stand with them. Thank you very much.